Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on when you are seeing this, and welcome to day 8 and video number 5, Found Family. I know I said that I was going to get this out to you a lot sooner, but I ended up taking the weekend off sort of accidentally because of other school projects and maintenance and no kings, and it just ended up being really busy and I was running around a lot. But either way, we're here now and we're recording now, and you're going to be getting a couple of videos kind of at the same time because, again, I have 10 days for this. I don't get to extend that, and I still want to get everything I plan to get out into the world. But today we're talking about found family, which you probably already know what it is. Most people have found family already, but if you don't, it's basically, it's self-explanatory. It's the family that you find, the people in the community and the friends that you make who you become close with and who start to feel like your family because you're so close with them, even though they aren't your blood relatives. Because honestly, in this day and age, we all sort of start to understand that family is more than just the people you're related to by blood. It becomes the teachers that are really close to you, or the co-workers that you're best friends with, the people you've grown up with, etc., etc. Found family is just all of those people who you're really close with and who you care about like family and think about like family, who aren't actually blood relatives of yours. And the reason that we're talking about found family is because it's just a really important thing to talk about and to understand because of two reasons. And the first one is that when you're going through these programs and going through these dark times, you're often going to feel very, very, very alone, very isolated from everyone around you. You're going to think that it's just you. That's what you're going to feel like, whether it's true or not. And it's not true. It isn't. There will always be people in the community and friends that you have and that you find and that you meet that will be there to help you, and that will be there to relate to you, especially if they're kids or people that you meet in these programs. You're going to see that you and these people are going to get along and you're going to understand each other because you've gone through the same things. And so you're not alone. And the second reason that I feel that it's so important to talk about found family and the people that you're going to meet and the bonds you're going to make are because you are going to meet a lot of people, especially when you're in these programs that are so short term, if you stay there longer. For me, I saw a lot of kids going in and out of the safe house, which is a 1 to 3 month long program. It's not supposed to be long term. So you meet a lot of people. Sometimes if they're there for longer, you get a little attached to them. That's fine. It's going to happen. That's how people are. But you're going to meet a lot of people. You're going to see a lot of people, whether it's kids coming in and out or people that you're living with or staff members or community members who are coming in to educate you or that you're going out to meet. In the programs that I talked about in the last video, like for me when I had CAP and the ANU Center, which are our Salvation Army, and the SNAP Ed lady and the staff members, and like when we'd go out and we'd go and see the fire station or to the old folks home, you meet these people, you get to know these people in these various places in the community. It's just going to happen. It's a part of everyday life. And so it's important to talk about the relationships they are going to form and how attached you may or may not get to some of these people. The first relationship that I want to talk to you about is the ones that you may be forming with the staff that are there. You're going to be interacting with these people on a daily basis. They're going to be teaching you a lot of things, cooking and eating with you, and you're going to see them on a daily basis. You're going to interact with them a lot because they're the people in charge of you. They're also going to turn into some of the most constant people in your life while you're in these programs because, again, they don't come and go the way that the people in the programs do or the people who are working in these programs do. They're always there. They're always looking after you. They just become really constant. You become very familiar with all of them. That being said, when talking about staff, it's important to remember that there's a certain boundary there, lines that you really, really can't cross because it could actually lose you your spot in the program because, again, these are the people that are in charge of you, and overstepping their boundaries is sometimes a little bit worse than overstepping other boundaries. Respect all boundaries, but still, it's just extra important to be careful. That doesn't mean you can't be really friendly with these staff members. I personally am really friendly with a handful of the staff at my personal safe house and tilt, or my local safe house and tilt programs. And I really liked them. Even when I was there, I was really friendly with them. But again, there's always that line of their staff and you're, a kid enrolled in a program. And it's just important to remember that when you're thinking about your relationships with staff, because those boundaries are extra important, and probably very much less, you can't dance around that line as much as maybe you could with somebody else who's in the program. Do not dance boundary lines. Always listen to boundaries, respect them, follow them. Ignore the fact that it is getting lighter and darker in the background. It is a cloudy, rainy fall day, and for some reason, it doesn't like me very much right now. Now that staff is out of the way, it's important to talk about the bonds that you may already have outside of the program before thinking about making new ones. And now I know I talked about staff already, which it seems counterproductive or contradictory, but the staff one was obviously very important. And so with found family or friends that you have outside of these programs that you've made prior, it's important to understand that sometimes these programs won't be the best for fostering those relationships. It means you might lose some friends, which might make you feel worse. And it means that these people outside of the programs, you're not going to be as close with anymore. You can't just go over to your friend's house anymore. You can't just go hang out with everybody at the park. They have to pick a spot you're allowed to be in, or you can't go. You can't stay up all night chatting on the phone with your friend or your boyfriend or whatever. You can't do these things anymore, because there will be rules that you have to follow, and in following those rules, you can't just go do whatever you want. That doesn't mean that you are going to lose your friends. It just means that if your friends aren't willing to make it work, you might be distanced from them for a little bit. And oftentimes when kids are in these situations and these positions where they might be thinking about running away or needing to run away from an abusive or unsafe situation and household, you're older, and you may not be told this a lot, but once you get older, you do lose so many friends, especially in high school. Your friends turn into the people that they're going to be for the rest of their lives, and you have to figure out if you want to be the same kind of person or a different kind of person. And oftentimes that is really hard to decide. It's really hard to figure out, do I want this person in my life or not? And then once you graduate, you probably will never see any of those people again anyway. It's so unlikely that you keep your friends from high school for the rest of your life. That doesn't mean they're not important, but it also means that if you do end up losing a couple of them, you were going to lose them anyway, and maybe they weren't worth keeping around. That sounds really upsetting, and it is. There's no but. It is upsetting to think about that, but it is a truth about these situations. And at the end of the day, if they can't understand that your safety comes first, maybe they weren't the best fit for you. Either way, your relationship with people outside of these programs is going to shift a lot, the same way that you were going to be building new relationships within these programs, which is what we're going to talk about next. The people that you will meet in these programs are going to range from kids your age, or maybe younger than you, or older than you, or sometimes young adults in these programs, depending on the kind of program that you're in. And obviously it's important to be wary when dealing with people who are not in your age range, because again, if someone's an adult, they're doing adult stuff. There was a big rule of, if the grades don't touch, neither do you. That doesn't mean you can't be friendly or friends with someone, but it also means be careful. Be careful about it. But you can make a lot of friends. You probably will make a lot of friends and a lot of connections that you will remember for a very long time. I can tell you personally, anyone I met while I was there, I can remember their face and their name and the way their voice sounded, and for a lot of them, why they were there in the first place. I can also remember when I met them and how we interacted with one another and my opinions of these people. It's a lot. You meet a lot of people, but you'll remember them all because, again, these are people that are in the same situation as you when they're kids in these programs with you. They know what you're going through, and you know what they're going through, which is occasionally a lot, but you'll get the hang of it. You'll be better at dealing with it and understanding it as you go along. While you're in these programs, you're going to lose the people outside of them. Not always, but it's very likely, and you have to be prepared for that. And a lot of the time, these people that you're losing are your family and the traditions that you had with them, which is gonna suck a lot. I can't tell you it won't. You'll lose your holidays the way that you used to have them. But the staff in these places will help make things feel more like home if they can. And they do their best. I know at my place, we had Thanksgiving dinner where all of the kids upstairs and downstairs would come up and we'd all have a big dinner together and talk and joke and get leftovers of turkey and mashed potatoes and various other things that were, basic Thanksgiving foods. Oftentimes they'd ask, especially with the kids who'd been there a while and who they knew were going to still be there a while, they'd ask. We did a bit of a Christmas morning thing where one of our staff members' churches donated things to be put into little gift baskets for us, and we got some presents from the church and the staff, which was really nice. And Easter, one of our staff members put together little Easter baskets. Halloween, I think there was a lot of candy brought in that we were allowed to binge eat. Though, again, we do have holiday events for things like that. So we have a Halloween event where we get to see kids and dress up and give out candy and stuff, which is also really nice. And so while you're here, you're going to lose a lot of what you had before, but you are also going to regain new things. You're going to replace it and find ways to move on without it and make everything your own. And these places help you learn to do that, whether that's by taking everyone out to the park for 4th of July, which is strictly American, but whether they take you out to the park for a cookout during summer season, or they let you go out and get ice cream as a group, they find ways to, even though you're in this program and going through a lot, they find ways to give you hope and happiness and light, because really at the end of the day, all that staff wants for you is for you to be able to come out of this on the other side as a happy and healthy, productive member of society who can make it on their own, since they don't have any other options in some situations. And for me, they succeeded in all of their weird little ways by teaching me the things I didn't know and giving me hope that things would be okay even once I wasn't there anymore. And so it's just the worst thing that you can do is make somebody feel completely and utterly alone when they already feel alone. The worst thing you can do is reinforce that ideology for them, is to show them, yeah, you're alone. Because at the end of the day, nobody is actually ever truly alone. And that's why that making these bonds and understanding how they can help you and impact you is so important. It just is such a necessary thing, not only for you, but the people around you. And so this video is going to be really short because I yapped a little bit about the different people you can make friends with. There will be stories about things that me and the friends that I made there have done and went through, and etc. As well as things that interactions that I've actually genuinely had with staff, which are always really funny to me because they're always outrageous. But I just want there to be this, I guess, evidence that no matter how bad it gets, there will always be somebody there. You will have another side to go to. You will always have somebody around you to help you and support you and lift you up out of whatever hard times you may be going through. So with all of that said and done, that is the end of video number 5. So thank you, and I will see you in the next video, viewer.